Hi everybody. Let's talk about how the book buying ban is going. This is Hestia, by the way, and she is bringing us some disappointing news. I broke my book buying ban. And I did not read all of those books on the double bookshelf. So basically what happened was Summerween happens and I picked out a whole bunch of books to read and I did fantastic. I was on fire with the reading. I actually read, as of today, which is June 27th, I think. Actually, I think it might be the 26th. Anyway, I read 12 books as of June 26th, and I think I might get to 13, if not 14, before the end of the month. I was so happy and so excited that I finally got through my reading slump. I've been excited about reading again. Summerween really lit me on fire and I got super excited and I read a bunch of spooky books and a murder mystery and just some very quick reads, and I got super into it. But none of the books that I picked out for my Summerween TBR were from those two shelves. And my momentum just fell off the planet. Then my friends and I went to this bookstore that I really love while we were celebrating the summer solstice. And I just saw a whole bunch of books that I have really wanted that have recently come out in the last couple of months and that I was really, really excited for and had been kind of adding to a list of books that I would buy once my book buying ban was over. And I couldn't help myself. I went up to the cash register with my stack of books and the lady was like, "Oh, wow, you found a whole stack." And I was like, "Yeah, it's really bad." And she goes, "No, why is that bad? This is great. Congratulations." And I said, "I'm on a book buying ban." She was like, "Well, I am going to enable you and check these books out for you." I said, "Awesome. Let's just not tell anybody. Let's just say they showed up on my porch in a basket, and because I am the awesome person that I am, I just had to take them in." So I did. I took in some books. I'm really happy that I didn't buy books for as long as I did. I really got through quite a few books. And my friend Barbara and I, we're actually going to go on a little free library crawl in one of the big cities that is around us. And I actually have already put together an entire giant tub of books that I want to give to those little libraries. And I have already replaced them with some things. And then I was bored yesterday and I got on my Kindle and it's Amazon Prime days and I got some stuff there as well. Oops. And so, yeah, Hestia, who is currently, she has gone through my belt. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Hestia is not pleased. I don't blame her. Honestly, I was a little disappointed in myself right after the cash register went ka-ching, but at the end of the day, I was pretty happy with my choices. Now that Summerween is over, I am looking for a little less spookiness in my life for just a little bit. I need kind of a break. I need especially a break from fantasy. Quite a few of these picks are fantasy, but quite a few of the things that I picked out on Kindle are not. So that's going to kind of give me kind of a little breather from fantasy. I'm getting a little over inundated with the trials and games, with the girl that comes from nothing is suddenly everything, those kinds of tropes. I'm broke and nobody knows who I am and my life is garbage, and then I walked into a library one day and now suddenly everything's magical and I have unicorns as friends. That kind of thing. So I'm looking for something a little bit different. And my last read, which I'm going to talk about in my Summerween reading video, really, really did well with getting me out of that. Anyway, first we have Letters from the Last Apothecary. I loved the cover of this book. I thought it was extremely well done. It is book 1 in a series, and it's about a girl who comes into an apothecary business and finds out that she only has 5 months to save the business before it closes for good. And there's a male character there who is it's the kind of grumpy stereotype, and she's the sunshiny stereotype, and she starts writing letters to try to help her fix this business. And it has several tropes that I absolutely adore. It has the apothecary thing. I love the grumpy versus sunshine romance trope, and I love anything about writing letters and things like that. Divine Rivals was one of my favorite books so far that I've read this year. I've always been in love with writing letters. I used to actually send postcards around the world as part of this program. It was really cool. You'd send a postcard off to some random stranger. Some other random stranger would send postcards to you. It was really amazing. And you logged it on, and they kept track of all the things. Anyway, so yeah, I saw the title, I saw the adorable cover, and I was like, well, I think this was the last book I picked up, and I read the back of it, and I was like, oh yeah, 100%. We have an apothecary, we have letters, we have grumpy versus sunshine. Yeah, this is great. So I picked this one up. Next we have The Unicorn Hunters. This is blowing up everywhere. This is actually a signed copy. It's got a lovely little sticker on there. I was very excited about this one. It's got beautiful end pages, as you can see, and it's got a beautiful hardback cover as well. So this book is written by the same woman who wrote the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy. It's not actually called that. It's called, oh, what is the actual trilogy called? It's like Winter something. The Winter Night trilogy, which includes The Bear and the Nightingale. She also wrote The Warm Hands of Ghosts. So this was her next highly anticipated book that she was writing. It is set in medieval France. It has a lot of the mythology piece that I absolutely adore. It deals with the tropes and the mythology and lore of unicorns, and I'm so excited. I absolutely love The Bear and the Nightingale. I have the second book, I just haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited about this one. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's really, really blowing up right now on social media, so I think it's going to be a really great read, and I hope it has that same kind of that very emotional writing that The Bear and the Nightingale had, where you kind of had to read between the lines and pick up on the nuances of the characters. She does such great characters, so I'm very excited to dive into this one. Another favorite author of mine, Ashley Poston, just came out with The Someday Garden. I love her romance novels. They combine a little bit of coziness and mysticalness and magical with the real world. I've read The 7-Year Slip. I've read A Novel Love Story. I have Sounds Like Love, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Sounds Like Love. I have Sounds Like Love on my shelf, and I think I have The Dead Romantic somewhere as well. I just haven't gotten to the two of those. Everybody is freaking out about this book. They said it's totally adorable and whimsical. It has a garden, which, as you all know, I'm super into plants right now. So we've got apothecary, we've got garden, we've got unicorns. I mean, we've got the whole gamut of all of the things that I'm super excited about. So this is going to be my next read. I'm very happy about that. Then we have the reimagining of Thornwood House. Look at this. Look at this cover. Oh my goodness. When I read the inside cover, it was giving found family. It was giving a little magical enchantingness. And then apparently the house has emotions of some sort. It says Thornwood House is also grumpy, guarded, and extremely hesitant to allow the two witches through its door. Armed with gentle hearts and wild magic, Evie and Ruby begin to form tentative bonds with the house and the citizens of the small town. But there's something deeply damaged about the building seeping into the forest surrounding, and Evie will have to use all her power to protect the roots she has started to grow. That's just where I have a house that is super grumpy and has a lot of character and drama in its life, and it likes to make that drama and grumpiness my problem. So this just sounded like the perfect read for me. It sounded like what I have been dealing with my own home for the past several years, and I like the fact that it has a house with a personality and that it makes the house part of the story. I love when a setting becomes a character in its own right. So this just really spoke to me. The cover absolutely spoke to me with this absolutely stunning house and the berries and all the greenery and things. And then the tagline says it's time to put down some roots, which I really love as well, because I really struggled with that as a young adult. And so to now be in my 30s and to kind of realize out of the blue in the past couple of years that, oh my gosh, I have roots here. If I were to just move, it wouldn't be as simple as packing everything up and rolling out. There would actually be a lot of sorrow to walk away from things. It would be a lot more difficult to just get up and go, because I'd have to pull out a whole bunch of roots that I've actually put in. So I think this is gonna be a really good read for me. It's also reviewed by a lot of authors that I'm a fan of. Sarah Beth Durst. It's from The Spell Shop, the author of Violet Thistleway is Not a Villain Anymore. So a lot of people that I really respect their work have looked at this and said, you know what, this is excellent. You should read this as well. So I'm very excited about that. The last physical book I have is Nobody's Quest. I saw this pop up, I think on my thrift books, and I was like, look at the keys. Oh, I love me some keys. And look, is that a castle in the key? Oh, look at that. But then, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty and golden for days. Oh my goodness. And then I was like, okay, well, those are pretty amazing sprayed edges. But then you open it up. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This may take the spot of my most beautiful book. I want there to be, I don't even know what this book is about. I don't even know what this book is about. I'm just eating up the cover art. Whoever designed this, you should have this framed on your wall. You should have this on a t-shirt. You should be absolutely bragging about your artwork wherever you go. This is the most beautiful thing. And I want there to be a series. I want there to be a series, all with different keyholes, all showing different worlds inside the keyhole. I need a whole series of these sprayed edges right here, 100%. So let's see what this is about. Sully has spent most of her life being invisible, an indentured servant, a library mold scrubber, the girl no one sees unless she's in the way. So when the king's guard shows up with swords drawn, she assumes it's a mistake. It's not. Moments later, she's standing in the throne room while the king tells her he's been chosen to retrieve a set of ancient keys. Only the keys can save the goddess and stop the chaos beyond the palace walls. because the world isn't waiting to be saved, it's already burning. And beside him stands Prince Kaelin, devastatingly beautiful, mercilessly cold, and certain Sully won't survive the hard journey ahead. He's probably right. So, sounds like we have a library, sounds like we have a quest, sounds like we have adventure and intrigue, and it sounds like we're going to have an enemies to lovers type romance. I mean, the fact that it sounds like it has a great plot and is very interesting just adds to the beauty of the cover. But really, people, we are here because I judged this book by its cover, and I'm okay with that because look at that. Perfection. So first, I sat down and I binged Off Campus on Amazon Prime in less than 24 hours. I mean, I just ate it up. I'm not a hockey person. I'm kind of getting to the point where college romances don't really interest me anymore, but they did such a good job, and they cast what an excellent crew of actors and actresses there. So I absolutely devoured it, and I was like, well, I want more, but there's only 8 episodes. So I guess I'm going to have to read the books. So I did download the deal, and I got it with the show cover because I just think it's adorable. And I'm already 37% of the way through. I started reading it last night, and I'm already 37% of the way through. I wanted to get much further than that, but I literally couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. On top of that, I also downloaded Sing Me Forgotten. It is a fantasy novel sort of retelling. It is a retelling of the Phantom of the Opera, but it switches the genders. So the Phantom is female, and her the Christine Daae character is a male. So I'm very excited about that. I hope it's going to be really good. I've tried a Phantom of the Opera novel before, kind of retelling, and I wasn't a huge fan. Sing Me Forgotten actually has 4.5 stars on Amazon, so that sounds pretty good. It's 333 pages, so it shouldn't take me too long to get through if it moves. I think that's going to be great. And then I also got Love's a Witch, written by a woman who I've read her stuff before. She does a lot of really cute Scottish romances. I read her Christmas novel about it's like the Highland Holiday Bookstore. And so this one came up, it was like 99 cents or whatever, and it came up, and it's got a guy with a kilt on the cover, and it's about magic and Scotland. And I was like, sure, absolutely, why not? 100%. I can blaze through that. That'll be great. It's got a little bit of witchiness and a little bit of magic, but it'll be different from the big romantasy and stuff that I've been reading lately. So I'm excited about that. And then finally, my very last purchase was actually a pre-order. It's supposed to get here the very first day of September, and it is a pre-order from Erin A Craig. If you have not read Erin A Craig, whoa, I need you to stop what you're doing and go pick up a variety of books. Hold on one second, let me show you. Okay, so let's go through this. First, I need you to get A House of Salt and Sorrow. This is a story about several daughters living in this castle on the side of a sea cliff. It's giving Greyjoy vibes, like the castle is falling apart, and their dad just married this woman or is about to marry this woman, and there's a curse on this family, and the daughters are trying to figure out what's going on, but there's also like this magical secret like entrance gate that they find in the bowels of their castle, and it sends them off to this crazy place, and you're just trying to figure out what is going on, but it's so magical, and like you can just taste the salt of the sea spray coming off of these pages. It is so deliciously written. You will not see the twist coming. It is absolutely unhinged. oh my gosh, the horror at the end of this book is insane. So read this one first. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. Read this one first. Then, once you're done with this one, you're going to pick up House of Roots and Ruin. This is about the youngest sister from this same book, who is around, but she's too little to really be a huge part of the plot. Well, now, she's a young adult. This is her book. So then you're going to read this one. Okay? Read this one. Then you're going to pick up Small Favors. This one is it's like a Village, if you know that movie. It's like The Village meets Little Red Riding Hood meets like the life cycle of bees. I mean, it's interesting. So they live in this town called Amity Falls, and it's like it's almost like it's very much like The Village, if you've seen that movie, which I have not. I just know the plot of that movie. They have to stay within their village, and they have to do certain things, or otherwise bad stuff happens to their crops and stuff. They can't just leave, because the forest that surrounds this village is like full of darkness, and there's bad things that happen there. If you go in there, you're usually not going to be seen again. Well, it's also a romance. This young traveler guy comes along and falls in love with our narrator, and you're trying to figure out, like, what's his deal? Should we trust him? Should we not trust him? Like, what's going on here? Is he part of what's going on in the forest? You're just not sure. Some weird stuff starts happening as soon as he shows up, and you're like, I don't know. He seems adorable and sweet, but I don't know that we should trust him. Well, anyway, bad things continue to happen and to escalate and escalate and escalate. And ultimately, you have to figure out what is going on in this forest. What is actually going on? Who's actually in control of what's happening? Is it humans? Is there some evil force in there? Is it like, there's like a lot of conversations about religion and how this all, delicious. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's a lot of tension in here, and a lot of, I don't read horror books, but it kind of had that vibe of like, it could go either way. This could just be really suspenseful, or this could be full on give me nightmares. But, so read this next, okay? Then you're going to read her most recent book, A Land So Wide. This one came out, I want to say 2 years ago. It had to have been at least 2 years ago, because this is an aardvark, and I stopped that subscription over a year ago. So this came out about 2 years ago, I think. It's not her strongest one, and a lot of people who love Erin A Craig weren't as excited about this one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. But it's very similar to Small Favors, except instead of being in a super sunny field with honeybees and things like that, this one is set in a dark forest called Mistaken. Such a great name for a town that really shouldn't be there. So it says, Mistaken is a tiny settlement in the beautiful but brutal Canadian wilderness, blessed with rich natural resources and cursed with unspeakable dangers. Just outside the town's warding stones lurk the bright-eyed, insatiable monsters who have rained utter destruction down on nearby villages. Mistaken's founders made a deal to protect those who live there, but at a steep cost. Anyone who spends a night within its borders belongs to it forever. Until the day when the man Greer Mackenzie loves disappears beyond the warding stones, pursued by a terrifying creature. Determined to rescue him, Greer must find a way to defy Mistaken's curse and brave the cold and pitiless wilderness. But she herself is being hunted not only by the ruthless Bright Eyes, but by the hidden truth behind Mistaken's founding and her own origins. This, once again, is very, very similar to The Village. It's kind of almost got a Scarlet Letter kind of vibe. It's much darker. There's a lot of really good plot twists in here. You just kind of got to get through that first section. It took me about, like, I'd say about six 6 chapters to kind of really get into it. The characters are really excellent in here, and there's a lot of good stuff. But this was not people's favorite. So that's why I'm telling you to read it in the middle. Get hooked on Erin A Craig first, and then give this one a try. But if this one isn't for you, that's totally okay, because then you're going to read her best novel that she's written so far until the one in September comes out, and then we'll see. This is The 13th Child. It will destroy you in such an epic way. Such an epic way. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I couldn't put this book down. It is chunky, and I could not put this book down. It makes you think about what you would do for the people you love. It is about this girl named Hazel, and she is the 13th child in this family, and the world has very religious tendencies. And so basically this family is super, super dirt poor, and they really can't afford this 13th child that they've had. And so they kind of dedicate her to one of the gods. And the god that she's dedicated to is Merrick, the god of death. When she becomes a young adult, he finally comes to claim her and teaches her how to be a healer. And he gives her this gift. When she lays her hand on a sick person, or when she sees them or interacts with them, she can tell exactly what they need in order to be cured. Sometimes, however, there is no cure, or Merrick doesn't want them to survive based on, just the threads of time or whatever. And she can see that they need to be unalive, that they're not going to make it. And it's her job to end their suffering. And the toll that takes on her is overwhelming. She kind of learns that she just can't be attached to anybody. And you see basically the entire span of her life and what she goes through as she deals with royalty, as she deals with her own heartbreak, as she deals with how do you serve a higher power that you don't always agree with? How do you come to terms with the decisions that are being made that are out of your control when you don't agree with them, but really the power is in your hands? Oh my gosh. It is just the most brilliant writing, and it will break your heart in the best ways. I cannot more highly recommend this book. And I am so excited for September 1st when her new novel comes out. I'm actually getting it in a hardback copy. It's got the beautiful phantom mask on the side, or in the corner, and it's just going to be gorgeous. It's got sprayed edges and everything, so I'm so excited for that. September could not come fast enough so that I could finally read her next book, because I have been waiting at least 2 years since this came out for her next novel. So this will also be a Phantom of the Opera retelling. I might put off the one on my Kindle for a bit until after September 1st, because I'm so excited for Erin A Craig's retelling. She posted on her website a couple of months ago that she was going to be doing a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I was over the moon. And it is called Our Strange Duet. So anyway, there you go. You now have my Erin A Craig reading list of how you should read her novels, and which I really hope you do. I really hope you pick her up, because she is something else. She is a force to be reckoned with. There's a way that she writes that just sucks you in. So yeah, so there's my Erin A Craig must-read list and how to read it in recommended reading order. And then we have the books that I picked up. Yeah. I think the book buying ban was a really great way for me to reset and slow down on my spending. While I was not successful in reading all of the books that I had hoped to read before I went out and bought something, I am really happy with the pause that I took I am really happy with now the anticipation of reading these books. And so my goal is to read all of these books next. These are my next reads. I'm currently, as I said before, I'm 37% of the way through the deal on my Kindle. And then once I'm done with that, it's going to be one of these books. Probably this one. I think I'm looking forward to this one the most. And then I will probably go back to romance or something like that and take another little break from the magicalness. But I think this one first. I'm really excited about this one. I've actually had them like displayed in my room with the covers facing out to kind of remind me of like, hey, you're really excited about these and you waited for these and like, let's get reading. So yeah, I just love it so much. Let's get reading. Bye.